Hello, everybody. Silent Eric here. This should be a pretty short one. Just a couple of cards revealed today. Looks like from Noxus and Demacia. Still fitting the theme though, which is nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. First up, we have the Bonehide Tritail, 4 mana 3/2 with Overwhelm. When I'm summoned, grant me +1/+1 for each different subtype other allies have. Okay. Other allies. So it's not going to count itself. Each different subtype. So it should count a second cat, though. Okay, so you want to go variety. That's very similar to Warden of the Tribes, which we see in Freljord. So a Freljord Noxus subtype deck. I don't think Noxus has a lot of subtypes yet, though. I think there's a couple, some like birds, and there is a cat. Yeah. Okay. Next up, 2 mana +1/+0, Ravenborn Tome. When my bearer plays a skill, copy it. That's super cool. Ooh, I like that. So you can put that on. You can put that on like anything in a Jin deck. It's in Noxus, so you can put it on Annie. How many things make skills? Most things that make skills do it on attack, right? Yeah, I like that on Annie a lot, actually. But I also like that on in a Jin deck. That's a very nice. It's gonna be very interesting to build around. Obvious thing is Annie Jin, but I think you could find some other cool stuff. Potentially doing a what are those guys? The Chirins, Sumpworks. Those guys in P and Z. I think you could definitely run this in Noxus P and Z as well. Next up, 5 mana 1/5 with Overwhelm. Captain Calrix. Nexus Strike, deal damage to the enemy Nexus equal to half of its health rounded up. Wow. Okay. I was expecting it had some way to increase its attack because one attack on Overwhelm is not really worth it. But no, instead it might as well just be, yeah, it's just a Nexus Strike. It's a half its health rounded up. Yeah, this is a 5 mana Captain Ledros, but it has to Nexus Strike to do it. And you can get away with that using 3 main things. One, increasing the attack. That'll help the Overwhelm get through. 2, you could give it elusive, and that makes it a lot harder to block. Or 3, and this is something that Noxus can do, stun. That one attack Overwhelm, this is going to be something that fits really well into a Noxus stun deck. Because you swing, and whatever tries to block Captain Calrix, you just stun it with any old effect, any kind of stun you have, and then suddenly he is unblocked, and you just did a lot of Nexus damage. Interesting, if you give him... There's a bunch of hoops you'd have to jump through, but I could definitely see building a, like, all-in Captain Calrix kind of deck with trying to double attack with Captain Calrix, but that's super unnecessary. The last thing to say about it is, what kind of deck do you think you would see Captain Calrix in? Like I said, I think with Ionia and stuns is going to be a really good one. In-house is where you have a lot of attacks already, but you could pair him with Demacia or Shurima to make use of challenger effects to try to help him get in without anything. Is there anything else that I could see him going into? I think those are the main ones. What champions you would pair him with? Right away, I'm thinking of Sivir and Riven, especially Riven. This definitely seems like a Riven kind of thing. Or Draven, I suppose. Draven can go ahead and give you that extra attack. Okay, let's move on to the next set of cards, which I believe are Demacian. Okay, we have 3 Demacian cards. 6 mana bird, 5/5 tough. If an ally has a different subtype than me, manifest a Demacian spell. Elite is going to be the most common one you'll find in Demacia, so this can just go into an elite deck despite not being elite. It is 6 mana, not 5 mana, so it isn't going to be randomly created with Remembrance. Oh, but I do see a 5 mana that will. Yeah, if an ally has a different subtype, manifest a Demacian spell. I like that. Yeah, you get to create a Demacian spell. Shouldn't be too hard to pull that off. It's on play because it's a manifest. All right. 3 mana Mage Seeker Jr. 3 mana 3/3 is totally solid. Fits Demacian stat lines. Spells that cost less than 3 cost 3 instead. Ooh. Ooh, that's really good for Lux. Because that is something that doesn't make, like, Lux Jace, like that kind of deck, or even just, Jace, whatever. That kind of deck is running expensive spells anyway. So if you run something like this that punishes cheap spells, when you're not running any cheap spells, you're just running more expensive spells, you can get away from that downside. Compared to the other 2 spell punishment effects in Demacia, I like this one a lot because you can still run spells in your deck without punishing yourself, unlike the other 2. Increasing all spells cost is going to make it harder on yourself, just like kind of equally, unless you're not running a lot of spells in your deck, but then you're punishing your own deck by not running spells. Spells are useful. Yeah, I like this a lot. Ooh, that's going to be really. There's a lot of decks I think you can just put that in and it'll do its job as long as you're not running cheap spells yourself, and that will punish a lot of decks. Obviously, it punishes Tellstones, which you can actually see in the art. That is what he is disrupting, is Tellstones. Yeah, anyone trying to do those spells that create a spell and then play that spell. Oh, yeah, that's really good. Lastly, Scrutinizing Sergeant. A 5 mana 3/3, so this will get remembranced. Oh, but it's a play effect. Oh no. That's a remembrance nerf. Hopefully, in the past they've like taken stuff like that out of pools. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully remembrance doesn't generate this because that kind of sucks. Play. Pick a unit from the top 5 cards of your deck that cost 3 or less. Summon it and place the rest into your deck. 5 mana 3/3, but it will summon a unit that costs 3 or less from your deck. Okay, and it's a unit, so it could be a champion. So for Demacian go wide strategies, that's pretty cool. Demacian Elite go wide. Okay, and if you really wanted to be cheeky, if you wanted to do something kind of fun, the Scrutinizing Sergeant mixed with Bilgewater and running the Plunder, the Smooth Soloist, to lower the cost of all the cards in your deck to make Scrutinizing Sergeant get up to a 5 cost unit for free for 5 mana. Now that might be a pretty fun thing to put together. Okay, these Demacian cards. Mage Seeker Jr. is a huge standout. Scrutinizing Sergeant, I think, is good, but it's very unfortunate that it's 5 cost just because of that might be nerfing Remembrance in a way that's unfortunate. Crested Lionhawk. I like Crested Lionhawk. Manifesting a Demacian spell, those could be usually pretty useful, especially if you choose between 3 of them. And it shouldn't be too hard to build a deck where it's a bird in a deck without birds. Okay. Then the code for today was kind of a fun one. Basically, you followed these letter plus color and drew the code, and the code gets us some kind of fat, fluffy bird. Well, that means we'll be seeing some kind of bird. I mean, honestly, that looks very Bandle City. So I'm guessing we're gonna see Bandle City. Uh, and next up should be Nico. We should be seeing Nico support tomorrow, and then actual Nico the next day on Saturday. So I guess that means Nico might be Bandle City. Nico could still be World Walker, but I'm thinking Bandle City looking at this. That makes sense for Nico, I think. Yeah. All right. That's it for today. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you can check out the card reviews tomorrow. Pretty cool stuff here. Some stuff worth building around, and some stuff that I think really should go into decks that we've already seen, uh, such as the Ravenborn Tome. That's just kind of going into a deck we already know about. But Captain Calrix, this different subtype theme that seems to be showing up, all those can build new archetypes. And Mage Seeker Jr. is just going to be really good. That's going to be a really cool one to build, kind of punishing control, really strengthen the mid range of Demacia. But yeah, that's it for today. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.